Hey, how are you? Welcome back. Leaders lead, winners win. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing the show. I feel like we're doing a really, really good job. It's at Leaders Lead, Winners Win. Super, super simple. You have the unboxed feed that's in there. You have the Leaders Lead feed that's in there. All about leadership, all about sales. And obviously, we uncover and really unbox controversial topics through the unbox line. But with that being said, here's what I'm here to talk about. It's very simple. Are you a person of merit and character, or are you not?
No fucking point in counting. That's for my accountant. He's good at counting. Only thing the crib don't got is a fucking fountain. So I need a fountain.
Really simple. See, I believe truly in life in general, and we'll go through a couple different things that have happened recently and a couple different things that are on my mind. But I believe in life, if you're a person of character, that your name is echoed in other rooms without you being there in the right light, in the positive light that needs to be, and you're doing things when no one's watching that is the right thing to do instead of the wrong thing to do. That is everything in life. I also believe, though, that meritocracy matters, that having grit, wherewithal, and ultimately being the best at what you fucking do matters, and everything else doesn't. So are you a person of merit and character, or are you not? It matters, guys. Recently in the news, we have seen the Supreme Court struck down a couple different things, one of them being affirmative action for college entrances and getting into colleges in general, admissions. We've seen that struck down, and it's been that way for a very, very long time. More recently, through Harvard, Yale, and Ivy League schools, you see a lot of Chinese American or Chinese folks in general getting accepted into Harvard and other Ivy League schools as opposed to any other race, and only because of their race, mostly. So you see that struck down. Obviously, social media has ran with it. There's all kinds of different things. But you guys have to understand a few things. Same thing with student loans, which we'll get to. Student loan forgiveness and so on and so forth. I'll get there. But let's talk about meritocracy versus affirmative action. Meritocracy, how good you are at what you do, your test scores, who you are as a person, character, what your merit looks like, vis-a-vis or versus affirmative action, which means because you're a certain race, color, religion, ethnic background, sex, sexual orientation, it doesn't matter whatever that category is from an affirmative action standpoint, you get ahead of the class rather than basing everything simply on merit. Guys, I'm telling you right now, this is why colleges around the entire country are dying at an alarming rate. This is why colleges and universities in general is a fucking joke. It is a joke. You can literally get a 4-year degree without going to a university. All you have to do is go on YouTube, Khan Academy, Masterclass. You can learn whatever you want, whenever you want, and you don't have to pay a damn thing. The reason why nobody believes in it is because we've had a bunch of folks come in through a specific way, which is affirmative action because of their race or because of who they know or because of the money they have or whatever the case is. Affirmative action has pushed them to the top of the line, top of the funnel, pushed them through the funnel, and then they've gotten into said university. And then those exact same folks, for the majority, have sat there and made decisions to study sociology or study communications or study something and then ultimately graduate with $200,000 of student loan debt, and then they go get a $40,000 sales job. And they're paying for their damn school with a $40,000 a year sales job because they're not good. They didn't study what they were getting into from a career standpoint. This is happening all over. And because of your race or because of your background or because of your ethnicity, you're getting into a school that maybe you shouldn't be getting into. in my opinion, it's blasphemy. And I'm super happy that the Supreme Court struck this down. You could call me whatever you're going to call me because you're already going to call me it anyways. It doesn't matter. It's not about race. It's not about creed. It's not about religion. It's not about sexual orientation. It's not about your ethnic background. It's not about that. It's about one thing, folks. It's called meritocracy. It's called merit. Did you get the grades on your tests? Were you top of your class to get into Harvard, Yale, Brown, anywhere that's an Ivy League school, or did you not? And if you did not, then you don't belong there. Period. Not because of any other reason. It's a meritocracy-based system, always has been, which is why, if you don't know this already, America, the United States of America, founded in 1776, July 4th, which just passed, has the best university system in the entire world by far. Now, there's a couple good ones, Rhodes and so on and so forth. I can go on and on, but we have the best by far. And it's dwindling because of specific reasons, i.e. affirmative action, so on and so forth, when it should be based on merit, how good you are, and are you a person of character. I remember as a human, and by the way, just so you know, I am now the CEO of Kinfolk Home Loans. And I employ people. I've done interviews with people that have had degrees and not had degrees, that have had master's degrees and doctorate degrees or no degrees or barely a high school GED. I've seen it all. I personally dropped out of college at Arizona State University, which that's a whole funny story. There's a bunch of memes about, jokes about Arizona State in general, which is what it is. But I dropped out of ASU. And now I'm a CEO of a company, and we're doing pretty well. Look at that. My point is, I dropped out, and so many other people ultimately have, and you can learn anything on the internet. You do not have to go to a 4-year school to have a great career. And now I'm in the driver's seat, if you will, or in a spot where I personally get to interview people that have degrees or don't. And personally, in my opinion, I think that I like clients. I like team members that don't have a degree rather than do. And I mean that wholeheartedly. I'm not saying that to deter you from college. I'm saying that because what I look at, again, is merit, and not merit on starting something and finishing something like college, or not merit like getting into college, so on and so forth, but it's because the whole system is such a joke that it doesn't matter to me. I don't really care, because I don't care about your quote-unquote ability to go through a mediocre school and fucking get in there because your dad knows somebody or whatever the case is. I don't care. I'd rather have somebody that's really fucking good as a communicator, because that's what we look for. We look for people with unimpeachable character. We look at people with unreasonable hospitality. We look at people that communicate in a way where it's sincere candor. No matter if their voice shakes or not, we want them to tell us the truth, because we're going to do the exact same thing, because feedback is a gift. We look for people that are competitive regardless. They're great at what they do, but they're also unbelievably competitive in their realm, because we run a mortgage company. That's what we look for. We don't give a fuck or care if you have a degree or not. So I believe that meritocracy is more important, or merit is more important, character is more important, merit and character, than who you are, who you believe that you are, whether it's black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Indian. It doesn't matter who you are from a race standpoint. I don't care if you're male, female, XY, XX. I don't care if you're male, female, or you think that you're something else. I don't care what it is. I don't care. None of that matters. I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care what you do on the weekends. None of that matters. What matters is, can you get the job done or not? And are you a good teammate? Are you a good team member? Are you here to build the company or not? That's what we look for, and that's what colleges should look for as well. I believe that this whole student loan thing, let's talk about that, and then I'll finish with business and life in general when it comes to meritocracy and character versus this affirmative action type of mindset, or DE&I type of mindset. Student loan forgiveness went down. I'll tell you, it's crazy, guys. I've been saying it, but there's been Democratic And I don't think I'm a Republican. It is what it is. I'm a Republican, but I'm also a person that understands both sides. And what I know is that both sides suck, right? But your vote has to count, so you can't vote for the middle. You can't vote for the independent, so you have to pick the lesser of two evils. That's what you have to do. You need to do that because every vote matters. Pick the lesser of two evils. Here's what I know or what I have seen. The Democratic Party that is in office right now, this office that we see, the socialistic, communistic type of party, is not the Democratic Party of the old. Here's why. Both sides of the politician aisle or the political aisle, guess what they do? They lie to your face. They say, I'm going to do this when I get into office. I promise you. And time in and time out, they don't fulfill their word. They're not men or women of their word. Now, in my opinion, humbly, over the last 4 or 5 years, the Republican Party has fulfilled their said words. And I can go on and on. If you would like to drop in the comments, I can easily tell you many of things that Trump and the entire side over the last 4, 5, 6 years have done that ultimately they've fulfilled their prophecy or their word up front. But this one right now, these Democratic leaders, both state and government, both federal and state, are lying to the people of the U.S. They're lying. They lied about taxes. They said, when I run for president, I'm going to lower the tax. If anyone that makes $400K or more, you're going to be fine. Or you're going to be taxed to shit. And anyone $400K or less, you're going to be okay. That's not true. They lied to you. And no matter what, if you look at income tax, if you look at state tax, you look at the tax that you pay to register your car, your property taxes, sales tax, the stuff that you buy, everything has gone up. They lied to you. In the inner cities, they say, I'm going to stop crime. I'm going to do this. I'm going to raise a bunch of money and fix the infrastructure. You look at the main cities in our U.S., they look at Los Angeles, San Francisco, Chicago, New York. You look at these Democratic-run cities, they lied to your fucking face, and things have been worse than they ever have been. Cody, where are you going with this? Student loans. Your president, your sitting president right now, this is sometime in July. You'll probably see this in some July or after of 2023. Your sitting president told you in a position of power to ask for your vote that he's going to forgive your student loans. And the Supreme Court ruled that he overstepped and that he can't do that. Why? Because the federal government is owed $400 billion that you took out, that I took out, that needs to be paid back. That's how things work in the real world. If you accept a payment, you pay things back. This is not a grant. This is a loan. There's two different things. And I don't give a shit that you're 17 or 18 when you took it out, just like I was. It's called personal responsibility. And if you take that out, you need to pay that back. Just like the credit card that you have right now that you're struggling to pay back because you don't understand, because you fell asleep inside of economics, or you fell asleep inside a home rec room where they actually taught you how to pay your credit card. You can learn all of these things now, but you make decisions not to. Your leader lied to you, and now you're frustrated with the Supreme Court, which you shouldn't be, because your president overstepped. So the Supreme Court ruled on two things. Again, denounced affirmative action for college admissions. Great thing. Love to argue with you anytime you want to. They denounced student loans and forgiveness up to X amount, whatever it was. It's bullshit. You owe your money. Those are two things that just happened. Again, let me go back to meritocracy and character versus your affirmative action, or DE&I, which is diversity, equity, inclusion, which is being pushed right now by the World Economic Forum, and I can go on a whole tangent about that. Business and life and school, whatever you want to look at, business and life in general should be ran on meritocracy and character, not because of who you are or because of who you come from. And you need to understand that. It's not how the real world works. It's like, imagine being a male attracted to females, and you make decisions that, you know what, I'm going to date a Hispanic woman because I want to look good on paper, and I want to make sure that people know that I'm not racist. And you're a white human, or vice versa. I'm a black woman and I want to date a Mexican human being because I want to show people that I love diversity, equity, inclusion. No, you love who you fucking love, guys. You care about who you care about. Love has no name. And it's the same thing in business. If you're falling in love with somebody, it doesn't matter what race they are or what sex they are. If you're falling in love, you're falling in love. I believe that love is love. I believe in freedom. Even though I'm a Bible-believing Christian, I can say that too. Love is love. You can love whoever you want. But just imagine if meritocracy and character is who you built your love off of rather than a race, religion, creed, color, or sexual orientation. Your relationship would go much further. Divorce rates wouldn't be at 75% if you made decisions with your heart and your mind connected together off merit and off of character. Merit being, can this person fulfill the needs that I need them to fulfill? Whatever that is. Character being, are they a person of character? Do they tell the truth? Are they integritous? I can go on and on. Make your decisions based off of that in life rather than anything else. How hot they are, what color they are, fuck that. Their family, where's their family from? They must be rich. I'm going to go date them. Oh, they have a business. Wow, they must be rich. I'm going to go fuck them. No. Merit and character matter. I want you to think about that in your life right now. Are you with the right person? I want you to think about that in business. Are you hiring the right people, or are you going to the company that is merit-based and character-based rather than all the other bullshit that everything's trying to be pushed, which we'll talk about in another episode. Think about it in life, think about it in business, because these last two rulings that you've seen are bigger than just college admissions and student loans. It's about life. So look, I appreciate you letting me rant. Appreciate letting me sharing some stories, being vulnerable. If you share the same views or you feel the same way and maybe you don't want to have the voice, let me be the voice for you. Share our show. Share Leaders Lead, Winners Win. This is who we are. I'll always tell the truth, even if my voice shakes. I'll always be straddling the line between humility and arrogance because I feel a specific way, but I'll always be willing to learn and have a dialogue and conversation with you, and hopefully you can do the exact same thing with logic, with merit and character. So follow us, subscribe to us. I appreciate you, and I love you, and I'll talk to you again. Bye.
No fucking point in counting. That's for my accountant. He's good at counting. Only thing the crib don't got is a fucking fountain. So I need a fountain.